Yeah, it's one thing going up against 9,000 MMR, it's another that you have to play an unfavored matchup with the Invoker against Templar Assassin, and then have Crit, arguably the best support player in the world, roam on you as well. It's just a tough day.
Bad day at the office.
Time for Sneeko to sit mid.
Yep.
Well, they're not going to get the Phoenix, which Sneeko's been playing very, very well over the last couple of days.
Oh.
And instead they're going to take away the Earth Spirit and pick up the Batrider in the first part of their draft.
Dendy seems happy about that.
Isn't this just the same opening that OG had in the first?
It is, but we didn't expect him to pick the Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
Yep. As Knoxville said, it was 2 months ago that they last picked it.
10 seconds.
And they also last picked it in that game. And this game is first picked.
5 seconds.
Is Sneeko's Earth Spirit good enough?
We're about to find out.
We are.
They have let the Lifestealer go through again.
OG not playing around?
Yeah. This is straightforward meta from them.
Unless they do Lifestealer off lane.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't. No need to.
10 seconds
No.
remaining.
No, there's nothing. I mean, they don't need to change anything, really, do they? It's Navi that are chasing the game now.
I mean, if you look at the last game, they have the Lifestealer in the safe lane with this Dazzle, which is a very strong safe lane. They have the TA mid who does well against Invoker. And then they have the Earth Spirit who can go to either one of those two lanes if he's needed. The Dazzle can always TP in and help out the mid lane as well. The Lifestealer on his own, he can be quite fine because he's still quite strong in 1v1 situations. And then they have a Batrider who can either go into the jungle or go in the lane and be offensive. So they're really pressuring the lanes heavily, OG.
Do you like the Terrorblade ban?
Yeah, it's very precautionary. It's a good safety measure. I think it's one of the heroes that might potentially prove too strong for OG to actually cope with. If they do play an even game up through the early to the mid game, Terrorblade might get out of control.
Yeah, Nax doesn't deal well with Terrorblade at all.
I think they are less worried about anything else, and they're just removing the most obvious win conditions that Navi might have, expecting themselves to be the better team.
Yeah, rightfully so.
2 bans, Ben, from Navi's point of view.
Juggernaut's something that
5 seconds.
I don't know if they would have run this game. I guess sometimes they do run it mid. Very good versus Batrider.
Drow.
Navi's turn to pick.
Okay.
Is there any chance we see a Brood in this series?
I don't know. I don't
Tell
know
you.
if either team plays that hero that much. I haven't seen General much on that hero. I feel like they kind of need General to
10 seconds
make plays more so than be a farmer. And Moon is, I feel, by nature, more of a playmaker as well.
Good pickup. When they don't ban out the Shadow Priest, I think picking up the AA has a lot of value, knowing that they've banned out a lot of the good supports that OG likes to play. Shadow Priest was also picked last game, of course. And
yeah. Navi are trying to figure out what works against OG, what can break them. And this AA, now they're trying this AA. They want to see if this is something that can work. If they win with this, we're probably going to see this hero bump up in... It's going to be banned in the second phase.
Do you feel like that was more of a block pick as well? OG have run it with the Phoenix before?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a block pick. I think it's more of... OG like running these heroes that have a lot of heal, some semi-heal, some sustain. I mean, Nax benefits from the Feast, the open wounds, the armlet, can't toggle, Phoenix, Sunray, etc.
Navi's turn to pick.
Lion Phoenix, been a popular support duo for quite a while now.
I think if Navi has any intentions of getting the Timber Saw, now would be the time to pick it up. Otherwise, it'll probably either get banned out or go to the hands of OG.
I feel like picking the Timber Saw, then they're kind of committing a lot to this magical damage, which is not that effective against both the Nax and the Phoenix. Also, Timber Saw against Lion is a bit scary, but seeing how Dendy performed that hero earlier today,
exactly.
I still go for it. Just for the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Radiant team pick.
Slant for Navi.
It's a pretty all-around solid lineup they have if they can get past the laning stage.
Yeah, they're gonna have some difficulties killing off the egg.
10 seconds remaining.
Unless they get they need a ranged mid hero that can sort of help with that.
5 seconds remaining.
You all know what I'm thinking.
It's the Wind Ranger. Unfortunately, you can't focus fire the egg.
I'm with you, Jason.
I know, but it's a ranged mid hero.
We've got to see at least one in a best of 5 with Dendy. Has to be 1.
So Stark, good egg killer, as you mentioned, and I think it's better that they pick that hero over Dendy's hero, because this time they'll actually have last pick, so we'll see what Miracle has before they pick that matchup. Although they did have that same luxury last game, did not work out too well for them. OG, they do not actually have a counter to the last of this game. Generally, we see the Venge picked up, but opting for the Lion instead might prove to be a little bit risky if they cannot save their cores.
Just, do you see Soneko now? Do you see what he's doing?
Laughing?
He's no longer in his relaxed position.
This is why.
Yeah.
He needs to sit back,
He does.
relax,
He has to relax. Take a
calm
deep
down,
breath.
listen to the ocean.
He's out of the comfort zone, you know?
I think the nerves kicked in.
So what about Moon's hero here?
I don't know, he's sitting there behind Fly and smirking a little bit.
Do you want to carry her for the Lifestealer? Slaughter, let's say.
Slaughter,
Hunter.
Slaughter could definitely work. It's a Radiant Slaughter though, so not too sure. It is quite strong. Can take down any of the Navi heroes, but it's gonna be a kind of hard lane for him.
Who?
Navi's turn
It's an
to
all-plane
pick.
Phoenix.
So this, we've seen Kunkka experimented a little bit with as a counter to Batrider.
Yeah.
With the defensive X, and it's very risky. And almost every team will turn to the Vengeful Spirit or the Oracle, occasionally with the Shadow Demon, but Kunkka was one that was experimenting with at a time. It's also very, very good versus the Ancient Apparition. You have a defensive tool that's not actually a heal.
Wait,
the boat.
Is Miracle playing it, or are you thinking this is a support Kunkka with an all-plane Phoenix?
I think more likely middling.
Yeah.
I think No Tails
Yeah.
played it before.
I think it's a, if anything, it's a Miracle Kunkka, I think. If they put it mid, I feel like it's Miracle. Also playing the Nakes.
I think it's also a nice tool to deal with the Earth Spirit magical damage. You have like a lot of magical damage coming out from Earth Spirit and AA and team fights, and having people not shatter and die to the magnetize early on in the fights is a really key part of Kunkka for this draft.
I'm curious where OG wanna go with this.
A few smiles in the Navi camp right now.
Ha, they pick Kunkka.
Yeah, Kunkka didn't do that well as a core hero, at least so far. What we've seen as a support, he's been quite alright, but
Radiant
the
team
core Kunkka
back.
has yet to work out properly.
Hmm. 10 seconds remaining.
What build do you guys go on Kunkka nowadays,
5
anyways?
seconds
I don't play it.
remaining.
What about you,
I think
Pika?
it's I don't play the hero, but I feel like it's the drums armlet into some damage.
Wow. It's an all-plane lifestealer.
Navi's turn to pick.
Somewhere Black is in the stadium rejoicing.
Wait, is it?
Scientists are baffled by this last
It
pick.
could still be a support Kunkka.
10
could be.
seconds remaining.
Well, who would be mid then?
5
Yeah.
seconds remaining.
Anti-mage.
I mean, Miracle is one of the few people that I have seen
Reserve
play
time.
anti-mage mid. I think it's still going to be a safe lane anti-mage, and then probably Kunkka mid with off-lane lifestealer.
Could Kunkka Lion AM kill a Batrider? I don't know.
Early on? No, I don't think so.
All right, what's Dendy's hero here?
Plenty to think about.
Lyrzika.
You can kind of pick the greediest mid that you want, because you're not really going to get pressured too much with a Kunkka and an anti-mage. And OG don't have the best early roamers to pressure that lane. So
Could just go back to the
just-
Invoker.
It's just not Navi's style to pick greedy.
I mean, by greedy, I mean like a weaker mid laner, like Shadow Fiend or something.
Oh, right. But they
In that
do
10
like to.
seconds remaining.
They of course.
Okay, they're going to go with the TA.
It's a good pick.
Right. What you can do, we can do better is perhaps what they're saying right now. Jacob, who's had a better draft?
I didn't get to see who picked what. So I'm gonna go with Navi.
Okay.
I feel like this, if there's a game that Navi can win, I feel like it's this one. The offlane lifestealer is going to have a pretty hard time unless he goes straight into jungle. I'm going to go... This is the game that Navi can take. And if they don't, it's OG 3-0.
Ben, quickly.
Yeah, I'm also with that. I'm not a full believer in the support Kuka, so I have to give Navi the edge in the draft. However, I still think OG will win.
Okay. Fans are ready. Players are ready. Commentary team is ready. Let's go back to Capitalist, Blitz, and Toby 1.
Thanks, Red. Yes, we are back. Navi versus OG, game number 2 of this best of 5. The panel, even when Jacob doesn't even see the draft, he leans towards Navi. How are you leaning?
It's pretty weird draft from OG, so go Navi?
Well, as the panel was saying, maybe this is the one game that they could actually take.
I think what Pycat said actually is the most true. If Navi don't actually win this game, then it's going to be a clean 3-0. Just because it's like, if you can't beat this, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to beat anything.
Okay.
The lineups, I'm really excited to see what OG have drafted just because I like different things. You know, we haven't seen Kunkka, core Kunkka, in such a long time.
So how are you meant to play these lanes out? Like, OG normally are really, really strong in their lanes. How do you play a core Kunkka, a core lifesteal, and a core anti-mage out here, Blitz?
You just be really greedy and hope that one of them comes out of the laning phase okay. Like, a lot of this meta right now is you just need as many cores as you possibly can with 2 support heroes that scale fairly well, and you can almost always make a comeback because it always just takes one fight. The off-lane lifestealer is something that Liquid has also experimented with a few times. We saw them use it against OG actually earlier today. It has some decent synergy with what they have so far, especially since you can do the Blink anti-mage, the Phoenix dive, plus the Infest bomb.
I felt like it was only okay for you guys because of the Riki. That really seemed to enable him to be able to move around. Even if it didn't actually work out that much, they weren't able to get that many pickoffs with that combo. It was still at least a plan. I'm not feeling the same kind of confidence about like the Phoenix dive in fast combo or something like that, you know?
We'll see how this goes. I'm pretty curious to see how these lanes work out for OG because I assume they have a game plan behind this, and the core Kunkka is something we don't see very often. The first team I saw run it in quite some time was actually Secret at the Major for RTZ, so there must be something to it.
Well, keep your eyes peeled for it. For now, the laning phase is going to start to settle down, and OG are running a defensive tri lane to protect anti-mage early on. I suppose when you got a Bat Rider and an Earth Spirit influencing this lane, you want to bring some extra help, because General, he's actually not backing up on Miracle here. He doesn't have Firefly available. They turn on the Sunray, and General starts to burn inside the Nova. The Aurora effect going all over General. Does Crit have enough damage? That last attack, it's not enough. Dropping down to 18 HP. Snaker will ball himself away as well.
Rough. Seneca really couldn't do anything there. He just like ran forward and tried to right-click Miracle. I'm trying to keep my eye on what this mid lane, how it ends up doing. Kunkka versus Templar Assassin. I can't say that I am overly familiar with how this matchup goes. I look towards my mid-expert, mid-only player, Blitz Dota.
I think it's pretty good for TA. At the same time, you can do a lot of damage to her with the constant torrents, and you have your own personal repression, at least for the damage in terms of the Tidebringer. But when it comes to just pure CSing, I think Dendi will have the easier time of this.
And again, they're dire sides, so another thing we're going to see the Templar Assassin be able to take advantage of most likely, as long as OG don't claim too tight a grip of this game between their Lifestealer and their Kunkka. Those are going to be the 2 heroes that are very teamfight oriented, pickoffs, and they're going to be the kind of the tempo controllers for OG that will give Animage the space. Now, Miracle is known to fight a little bit more often, especially with his AM, where he he doesn't always go for the Battle Fury builds, and he'll actually be very active. So we'll see how much he chooses to do that in this game.
So whenever you play mid against a Templar Assassin, what you want to do, Toby and Cap, is you double wave. You make sure that she's fighting against as many creeps as possible, and you just make it hard for her to fight and go for individual creeps. And that's something that you can do with Kunkka, but what's happening right now is that Dendi's trying to bully him as much as possible, and he's auto-attacking the wave much more than you'll normally see a TA do, just so that she can keep pressing the lane back.
It does seem to be working out as you expected. The CS advantage pretty heavily in the favor of Dendi. 11-7 to him right now. But then again, Kunkka isn't exactly all focused on CS. We'll see if he has the larger impact as we start going 15, 20 minutes into this game, and we'll see that Torrent, X marks the spot, Torrent combination plus the big impact of the boat, which that is one of the big team fight winners oftentimes, between the stun as well as the damage reduction. Moon in a little bit of trouble here, pops the rage, will be okay in the end.
Yeah, Arstar can't reach him for that last attack, and Moon makes sure Arstar can't attack from the cliffside either. He's gonna, he's gonna life leech out. No, he didn't want to. He wants to deny himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He's already bought up the Iron Talon recipe anyway.
Gotta be efficient as much as possible as an offlaner.
Well, he's 3 minutes in, he's already managed to find almost 4 levels, and that's from standing on the lane too.
But it's also not a lane that he's particularly threatened by, just because they don't have any heavy nukes or disables coming out from the Ancient Apparition. The Earth Spirit is always bottom lane, so he's dealing in a 1v2 scenario. Slark may prevent him from being able to get like very active CS, but he should always be able to get experience.
So far in this game, this bottom lane for Navi, splitting some XP, both about to hit. They actually just got level 3. And
there's a combo. You could see how the Torrent rips through Refraction really quickly due to its multiple instances of damage.
Yeah.
Seems to have a great byproduct too, the fact that OG keep controlling these runes. They've taken both of the last runes, 2-minute and 4-minute runes.
Yeah, it's very important to do against a Templar Assassin, especially because she relies so heavily on last hitting through that Refraction. And Dendy's going to have to bottle Crow first time around. But things so far, not really one advantage over the other, as they're going to go for this kill this time.
Torrent, sun raised up, they want to go for it. The kick's coming in from Seneko, but it's all too late. It only connects on fly. But it's all too late. OG support's quickly rotating. Not to defend the mid this time, but to attack.
Yeah, Templar Assassin not respecting being half HP with the Refraction against the Torrent. He's got to remember that the Refraction is just a non-factor, and it only takes +1 to make that gank successful.
The good news is during that time, the Batrider's going to get a little bit of farm. General doing very good on the Batrider, so throughout this entire tournament, but OG kind of just showing Navi, that's how you make a gank work against a TA.
And he's also...
they're going to go for it again.
Yep. X,
same exact thing.
Notel still at the end of that double damage rune. Does a lot of damage to Denny with a sun ray there. No refraction. Up in 4 seconds time, but support. Now Seneko boulders his way forward to Notel. Gets the kick off. Arstar, there's no mana. There's nothing to cast here. So the Torrent connects onto Seneko and fly. Basically makes a buffer between himself as well as the Kunkka.
Moon, let's see, how much CS he has? 15-4, Slark, slightly behind in the AM, but not a major difference. Looks like the Earth Spirit's going to be starting to do some stacking for the Batrider, so he can kind of catch up to where the Lifestealer's at and start having that heavy blink around impact.
Moving to top, just trading hits with Diarra, and
I think that ward may be really low. A little bit obvious fly. General try to move over, fly, jumps out, the Vortex down from Arstar, they get the sticky napalm, Icarus Dive's already been used, support's coming back from the Kunkka, so Notel on his way, he does have the ship available in General, maybe he's gone in a little bit too deep, there's the X mark, pull him back at the right time, ship will connect, Torrent and Sunray, General starts burning, Denny's moving over, he wants to kill over on fly, no melter, no big burst damage, slowing him down, fly, trying to live with the stick charge, but the boulder comes through from Seneko with the extra stun, allowing Seneko to find that kill. Still ends up being a 1-for-1 trade.
All worth it though, because he traded his life for the Batrider after that overextension. He may like end up giving a kill to Dendy, but that doesn't matter. No Tail is doing very well for himself. I'm excited to see how this Kunkka really plays out in the mid game. Very fun hero to watch. It's General. A little bit of go there, but nothing major going to come of it. They're gonna jump again onto Dendy perhaps. They just lead with a regular Torrent, and that's gonna be it.
I don't think they really have kill potential on this hero anymore. Navi are gonna make a much more concerted effort to try to help them out in this mid lane after seeing that gank attempt happen twice. And although the first one is successful, I think overall this is where OG start to shift their focus.
Diarra, very, very low on this top lane, try to battle up against Moon. Moon jumped inside of a creep infested and popped back out again. So even when Diarra did find a little bit more essence being shifted over, Moon was able to survive.
I mean, Moon's only 100 net worth behind the Slark.
Oh, they bring in help. He's going to rage his way through. That pounce doesn't hold him.
This is why he's able to get so much, right? Because it's a lane that doesn't have kill power against him.
Yeah, there's no instant initiation. Even with the Earth Spirit coming over, I'm not 100% certain they would be able to get that kill because you can always just Rage, Infest, or use the Phase Boots to walk away. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's like questionable whether he'd be able to get the kick in the first place, and even if he does, he'd have to chain the silence like perfectly with a stun wearing out just to give them enough CC time to come close to killing the Lifestealer. And that's always a bit worrying, right? When you talk about like, okay, you have to execute this game perfectly just to be able to get it. It means that sometimes it's better not even to try it out. And I feel like Seneko is being more effective in securing General some farm. And considering how well he's played this tournament, they should do everything they can to enable him.
Dendy gonna get dragged back, and again, it seems like a rinse and repeat combination with the extra stunning from Notal. It means they get the ulti off, but that concerted effort from Navi will may even end, and the support gonna go down. He's frying up. There's the X marks the spot. Drag it back quickly. Make sure he doesn't get back under that tower, have any other help. Rotate over at the same time, up on top lane. Dira's gonna go down. The Ancient Apparition dropped just a couple of seconds beforehand, and now is 6-1 in favor of OG.
So about what Pycat said.
This is very, very bad start, obviously, for Navi. They had these like a little bit greedy, of course, with the Templar Assassin and Slark. They have opportunities as heroes to be able to do a lot around 20 minutes, but with
they gonna go in
phases,
Torrent,
and they've got Finger
too. Stun, Finger of Death, Dendy. Not enough damage to kill him off. He's gonna stick around. Gonna kill off Crit underneath that tier 1 tower. In fact, the damage from the tower is done. We'll do it in general. The Firefly all over one. They bring down the Phoenix. Notal. Now he's in trouble as Zira jumps forward. He's already gone for a Shadow Dance. Maybe. Okay. They'll back out. Navi find 3 kills. A very quick rebuttal.
Nicely done. That's way too over-aggressive around that tower. Like, the problem was when they half committed for it. Like, Crit continued to go, but the rest of OG backed out. So once he uses his finger, Dendy says, okay, you've expended everything. There's no point in being afraid of you anymore, while the rest of OG weren't 100% sure whether they wanted to commit to that fight or not.
Yeah, and Navi at least make good rotations to be able to capitalize on that kind of overextension. Even if they fully committed to the kill, they would have probably still picked up 3. And considering how far behind they are in the laning phase, they probably would have been happy trading Dendy away for 3 heroes in return.
You still got that ticking time bomb, though, of Miracle. Like a man who does his first rotation, finds a kill, still walking around with Vanguard, 4.4k gold, net worth on him.
At bottom, though, Navi's 2 supports smoked up.
They gotta find Crit. Observer Ward reveals it. Seneko, he actually turns around a little bit slow, so he now is out of range to get the boulder onto Crit, allowing Crit to get that follow-up stun to Seneko.
And he connects the pull for him. Very kind. They are going to get ward vision down, though, and I think that was the real goal, because it is ultimately just 2 supports ganking. Like, the likelihood of that going off is somewhat risky anyways. Meanwhile, though, Miracle's going to get a lot of free farm up at top, even going to pressure this tower because he knows Navi just simply do not have enough to kill him at this phase of the game.
This is what Miracle's style of Animage is able to do. He bullies really hard when he picks up that Vanguard. He's very active in fighting. He rotates, like it's not your typical Animage that just sits back and AFKs away and just tries to get Mantis style at the very minimum before he fights. This is quite the opposite. Miracle is going to be in all of these engagements if possible, and he's also going to try and take towers as much as possible.
Keep your eyes on Miracle.
He doesn't have to care too much about Navi until the Blink Dagger's up on General.
It's up. It's already up.
It's ready now.
He's waiting. There's your Firefly. Leo Lasso, then the Ice Blast is on its way up. Miracle gonna get hit, kicked, and brought down. Overstaying is welcome. The result, however, will still be OG taking this mid-tier 1.
He got tricked really hard. They used the scan on that Ancient stack, and OG probably thought to themselves, okay, that means your time is clear. Navi's going to try to contest for the stack. You can continue to push in, but almost immediately just gets gone on. Very well done by Navi.
That's exactly the kind of Blink Dagger rotation you want to see. For the first time you reveal that, you get the kill on the most important hero of OG. Hopefully they can continue that, though. Dijira once again being threatened by Moon.
That early Shadow Amulet able to run away, however. But Moon's getting more and more money as well.
Yeah, he's just making himself space, right? Like, he's never thinking, I'm going to kill the Slark. He's thinking, I'm going to push the Slark back so I can get free CS here without being bothered.
Yeah, that's got to be really frustrating that a Lifestealer can just bully you like that. Oftentimes, whenever you see the safe lane bullied like that in competitive Dota, they're just saying, well, what is my job here? And so you're going to see Ditya Ra just continuously go to the jungle and farm, but this is not how he wants to play this game. You don't want to just get bullied by a solo lifestealer. And the even more frustrating part is, Moon's up there alone. It's not like he has people behind him. It's just that Navi have expended so much that they have to reset.
Which means that they really gotta make a lot out of this Ancient Apparition pick. The Ancient Apparition is really what allows the Lifestealer to be so aggressive against that dual lane, and just because he's not able to do anything about the Nyx pushing forward. So in that case, they really need Artstyle to have heavy impacts with his Ice Blast as they push past 15 minutes. He's almost got the Hana minus, so he'll start making that, that progression in items. I would like to see him get a Force Staff as well, though, and just be a little bit more active in combat in that regard.
Yeah, that's often what you're going to see out of the support AA, instead of going straight for that Ags like people used to. People are starting to really realize when you have 2 Force Staffs on your team, it makes it nearly impossible to catch out any sort of course.
Oh, but speaking of mobility, crit with the Blink Dagger and infested Lifestealer inside of him. This is one hell of an infest bomb. Not the early kind that we saw from the Riki that would allow Liquid to be able to, rotate around as soon as they hit 6 on the Lifestealer, but here the fact that they got Blink Dagger so early on Lion may catch Navi off guard.
Yeah, Crit trying to play independently right now, trying to force something on the map. I do like this play. They're not just straight up 5-manning. He's still looking for something aggressive, but now he's going to connect with the rest of his team, expecting Navi to get into a fight, which they're going to do as general TP's down.
Ditya Ra's moving forward. He's got the full Shadow Blade up, so he can come into OG. They want to jump that Ice Blast, able to connect over on Miracle as Crit. Now he pops out the Sun Rays up to Nago. They burn so hard. Crit will get the double kill. Moon's looking for a little bit more. X marks the spot, will actually bring the bait to him as Dandy up and towards the air, bounce back down again, hidden inside the Meld, but General back in with the Firefly, burning down Crit as well as No-Tail, but can he survive through this? No, he can't. Not when the Mana Void is there, and Fly is the lifeline. They have to back up to the tier 2 tower as Miracle just stands his ground.
The fire cap, it burns. It hurts so bad.
Batrider thought he was going to be a better hero than Phoenix and output more fire damage, but that's just not the case.
Everybody, it seems like everybody forgets once in a while that Phoenix is the best hero in this game, and Fly just has to gently remind them.
Gently remind.
I love how they could just keep themselves up too. They're doing the, okay, boulder forward, Ice Blast hits nicely. The kick follow-up, Miracle, gonna blink himself away. They've already lost Fly, and with that jump forward, maybe there's enough damage. Nira goes inside the Shadow Dance. He wants to kill over on Moon, but Kunkka with the ship able to find one. Denny's there to help bounce, the Lifestealer's down, and No-Tail's on the run. He'll send Denny back into the torrent, but Nira catching up close. He needs to get this pounce over on No-Tail. X-Mark spots back up again. That double stop from Crit. The torrent not going on from No-Tail. He can't turn because, yeah, there's your eyes. Able to hold No-Tail in position. General is still hunting, searching for Crit with the Flame Break bouncing down. They're gonna find Crit. 6 charges up. He's got no stun. Gets a double stun out to Dendy in General, but Ditya Ra runs in so quickly. He's gonna find Crit. Navi are racking up the kills. General are able to switch up the tower aggro. See, he'll also get out safely.
Well, the first fight goes pretty nasty, but second one, I'm not sure if that was just OG being like overconfident and continuing to push forward like that, but they get into a secondary fight that Navi just mop up.
It was really well done by Navi, recognizing that they shouldn't be afraid of the second fight. They know that the Phoenix's major spells are on cooldown. The Sunray was just expended to go for the heal as well as the egg. OG did not think that Navi was going to re-engage, especially after a fight that went like that the first time around, but second time's a charm, and I really like that they continue to play aggressively even under the tower, making sure that they got that crit kill on top of that.
With a lineup like this, when you don't have large cooldowns, you can't afford to let one team fight make you scared of ever engaging. And Navi, they're certainly not ones to be scared of anything. They have the Blink Dagger and drums on the Batrider. We can see the Ancient Apparition perhaps start making that Force Staff with the 1,000 gold that he has.
Ditya Ra? Does he want it?
Need to find more.
Can he take it? Pounds forward with the Dark Pack, gonna break free. Crit's gonna get the stun off. Quickly into Shadow Dance. Ditya Ra does not have the damage to finish this. Not when he also scattered at both Moon and No-Tail around the corner. He's waiting for it. He can't pounce. He can't go invest. Now he can pounce, but he also understands the extra help is there. Pounds is down, instantly dragged back into the ship. And Ditya Ra will be brought down, but it takes 4 OG heroes to do it. while Miracle was escaping from the engagement up on top. I say escaping, Snako has 19 HP, limping back to base.
You see what Crit did there, Cap? He goes for the Hex first, buys himself like a half of a second, and he knows that because the Slark's immediately going to go for the Dark Pact, he Earth Spikes second.
Yeah.
Whereas most people's instant reaction is to go for the Earth Spike first, which ultimately ends up saving him.
Right, because if he does the Earth Spike first, that means that the invis from the Slark.
Dendy walks into it. They're going to open wounds up, and Dendy, well, you can't escape from this one. Trying to drain out the ban. The Ice Blast is on its way, but Dendy's already dead. So Ice Blast connects onto Snako. The TP will complete, but he's not close enough to chase.
Man, I'm loving this Kunkka pick. It's countering the Slark, it's countering the Templar Assassin in lane. That's one of the things, right? Like, you can't get rid of X marks the spot with Dark Pact, so your mobility is super limited as a Slark to go in and out of a fight.
He doesn't have blast suit, but he's looking for this. Okay, fly. Slark's gonna get popped with the help. Well, I'll say with the help. It's Crit doing most of the work.
Sorry, General, were you trying to set something up there? I believe your damage dealer is now gone.
He also, like, without last suit for 10 seconds, he had a moment where he could have jumped, but there's just no catch.
Yeah, right now, OG, they're also allowing Miracle to continue to farm out this top lane. He's going to have his Battle Fury completed now too, much to the dismay of Navi fans. Is they're just creating so much space with these 4 heroes on the southern side of the map.
Here comes General. This time Lasso is up. He's going to find the target. It's going to be Crit. Ice Blast also on his way. Going to hit Moon as well as Crit. Then he bought Snako. He caught the tail end of the ship and now into the Supernova. OG, they're forcing Navi back, but Denny's got no other choice. He has to come back into the sun. X marks spot from Notel. This Kunkka's doing his job, but Dendy can't hide inside the meld. Sunray does way too much of a job, and OG, they're taking all these fights also without Miracle, who's taking the tier 2 tower up on top lane. He only just got Battle Fury. He's going to have 2200.
That is so demoralizing when you watch your team just get exploded on. You only get a support, and meanwhile, one position player, Miracle, just sitting up top, continuing to get massive amounts of farm while his team creates space for him on the bottom half of the map. And this is just OG working together as a unit. This is one of the games where they just haven't had to use Miracle whatsoever for the victory.
Look at Miracle. Diddy Ra is literally standing in front of him and he's farming his own creeps.
Yeah, what can he really do?
Nothing.
Without the Batrider and the Earth Spirit, because they need both, and the Ice Blast, they just can't kill the Vanguard Animage. They need all their disables plus the extra nuke damage of the Ice Blast to ensure the kill. We've seen in the last couple of fights where they try and jump Miracle first at bottom lane, and every single time they just don't have that long enough disables. He always blinks himself away.
Yeah. Right now what's going on is Navi is severely underestimating how much the ship is saving everybody. So they're expecting somebody to get bursted down with the AA Ice Blast. Nobody gets bursted down. OG turn things around, they re-engage. And they have so many different spells to re-engage. As long as they have that Supernova prepped and ready, it makes it nearly impossible for Navi to get into a straight engagement and Crit every single time. With Moon inside of him, you're not expending too much because this is your 3 and 4 position. If you get a kill, fantastic. If you don't, you still have somebody on the map farming.
Yeah, you still have both your 1 and 2 position continuing their item progression. And even then, Lifestealer is still well ahead of the Slark.
Tendy's farming underneath an Obs and Sentry, but they don't even go for him. They go for R-Style. Just remove the Ice Blast from it. It will still connect over on Moon, but now, well, with the Sun Ray, they get the last 2 off on Moon, but again, the chip's coming in, and Tendy punches ticket. Miracle just walks over the dead corpse, jumps forward. The Mana Boy not enough to kill up to Nako. 4 heroes gone. This may be a full team wipe. General waits on the hillside and then blinks away to safety. But OG is ready now to push straight down the mid lane, take tier 2, maybe even chip away at the tier 3 or look towards Roshan.
Yeah, you gotta slow down a little bit, OG. No need to dive the base just yet. Oh, man.
Yeah, we are only 21 minutes in.
Tail's got Ether Lens, so he's got this super long range X that almost catches General right there. He's got the Veil of Discord as well, so he not only enables like his nukes to be able to do more between the Torrent as well as the boat, but then the heroes behind him, like the Lion, are able to just pop. And it's so dangerous. Like Navi, against a Kunkka, you have to be very specific on your positioning. It's even worse than facing a Disruptor, because Disruptor, at least, you can like stay 5-man and grouped up, but here, the Kunkka has such long range to be able to catch you with the X, and he brings you back to that spot guaranteed. It's it's one of those abilities that you just spam out every once in a while, right? Like if you hit the X and Navi correctly put their positioning well enough to be able to defend against that X, then okay, who cares? Like it's up in another like 2 seconds or something like that.
They're coming again too.
Dire's
Infest combo.
top tower is under
Navi have to make something happen around the map pretty soon, because you can't just continue to let this happen. What's going on right now is that whenever Lion has the Finger of Death available, they're just making these nighttime raids that Navi simply just can't deal with. You have to eventually make some sort of proactive move. The downside is Navi are probably like, how? Nobody's really showing on the map very often. The only person that does is Miracle. He can always just blink away. He clears camps so quickly now with his items. But for Navi, this is the worst kind of way to lose a game. I think they should just go for the smoke, try to make something happen around wherever they have vision.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, right? Is that OG have so much aggressive vision, and Navi, it's only 23 minutes in, and they're on the losing side of things. You don't expect them to be able to pick up a gem yet.
Just try and battle it with a Slark. At least he's a walking around detection. And you are getting close to some other big items. R-Style's rapidly approaching towards that Aghanim Scepter on the Ancient Apparition. The Hand of Mice has allowed him to find that kind of money. Dendy just needs 100 gold, and then he's got himself the Desolator. So items are going to start rolling in for Navi. I know the hill is still quite high, like it's a 12k net worth deficit.
That's not
and
an
almost
token,
10k experience. Like, we can ignore that kind of stuff, but Didira finds an opening, initiates with a Silver Edge, goes on flying. They jump in, they isolate No-Tail, so no ship this time around, and the Ice Blast connects over on crit. Fly's going to fall as well. Maybe he won't. Into the Nova. Didira wants to bring it down. The help is there. They get through it. Now they move over. Miracle looking for the Mana Boy, but who's your target? Now he's getting stunned up. Is there actually a follow-up? Didira is here. There's your Mana Boy, but minimal damage. He has to blink northwest before Heroes already lost the illusion to try and... Well, I don't know what they're doing. They're taking out the creep wave, the blink out, the TA trap slows down Miracle. They're on the hunt, but they won't catch up. Miracle will survive, but OG lose the fight.
And that is the power of an Earth Spirit right there. Sometimes it's intended, sometimes it's not, but Snako had the perfect kick that countered the attempted initiation by the Lion. He ends up with his boulder hitting Lion right as he comes in and crits did absolutely nothing in that team fight. He just served as an opportunity for the Infest to pop out, but it was right underneath that big Ice Blast.
Navi showing exactly what they have to do in these fights. Isolate the Kunkka, make it difficult for him to get any sort of setup, and make him use his Torrent and his Ghost Ship reactively. Every single time you allow him to use it actively, it just makes it difficult because you want to make No-Tail just kind of guess where he's going to throw the Torrent. He doesn't have time to throw out the X. If he gets gone on, everything becomes a little bit more wonky for him.
Yeah, the damage aspect of those abilities are unlikely to hit when he's scrambling to try and keep himself alive. And then the defensive aspects of the Coco's Rum is just going to be too late to have an impact in the team fight if you've already bursted at least one hero and are moving on to the next.
I think if you're OG, though, you continue to try to play aggressively. All your cooldowns are relatively short. No-Tail just used the boat at bottom lane, but it's almost going to be up in 20 seconds again. Your Phoenix Egg is cooling down just about now. There's not a whole lot of items that they necessarily have to wait for. Miracle's also in fighting shape, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they go for another Infest combination pretty soon.
Both sides, it just depends on initiation.
Well, Navi might be able to do that. They're going to smoke themselves up just around their own Ancients. It's Dendy carrying that extra Mithril Hammer, probably going to go into a BKB. Now she jumps inside the pit, so they want to go for Roshan, but the lines are already being drawn out by Fly. He's seeing this coming. And it said to OG, group up behind your own tier 1 tower. There was no vision from the Dire side for this, and they're moving up, but they're headed... Are they going to... Yeah, they're coming down. They're coming down. Roshan at 1/3 of his life. Snako going to break the smoke. The Dire observes over silence over on crit, and now they jump out. Snako wants to find the last who's over on Moon, but the ship's going to hit perfectly into the Nova. Dendy's going to drop as well. They came out to fight, and they're going to instantly regret it. Dendy, Mana Void will pick him off. 3 Euros gone, and Roshan is still licking his wounds, and OG will put him out of his misery.
That's going to be a free Aegis for Miracle as they just walk in. Ross still around the area, but he gets spotted by that sentry.
Yeah, for a second. Have they got enough damage into the Shadow Dance? Pounced away. Who cares? You just take Roshan. I'm surprised Navi didn't actually finish Roshan before they came out to fight. It's like they wanted to instantly jump.
I think they just had to. Yeah. You can't allow OG to set up around that pit area, the Phoenix Egg is going to be even more effective right on top of that cliff.
They have 3 heroes that are really good around Roshan. You've got the Line Stun of the Lion. You've got the Kunkka's AoE of both Torrent and the ult. And then obviously Supernova is one of the best abilities to fight around the pit. So when they see an opportunity for initiation like they did on the Lion, you just kind of go for it. But unfortunately, that Lion was just a carry-in of the plague that is the Lifestealer Infest.
That was really good positioning by Seneko. He was able to catch the Lion out, but unfortunately for him, his team is just a little bit too underfarmed to make any use of it.
They may have a Blink Dagger for Seneko soon. I don't know. I almost feel like they just need more damage at the same time. So, yeah, fail Discord.
Sort of think Navi, they can still probably take an engagement. They do have that AA Ice Blast. You've seen what can happen when you start the initiation onto the Kunkka. It is going to get a little bit harder, though, as OG are probably just going to learn from that terrible lesson and just say, okay, we're going to send our side heroes first. Crit can always scout. It doesn't really matter if you lose that Lion.
The no-tail split push is real. With BT's next marks the spot, combining it with Veil of Discord, pushes out the bottom lane, instantly returns to the mid. Didira very close to Moon and Crit. Their sentry ward's over on Crit, so he's going to be a little bit more careful.
No tail.
No tail.
Is he trying to grab the rune?
Oh, it's almost like he's trying to bait a fight out. Didira is looking for one. He's right behind Moon, but he doesn't want to go on him.
Didira wants to be able to find the Lion. Or maybe set up a kill on like a core on like the Kunkka, but there's just no openings there. OG are protecting themselves rather well. They let Miracle do what he wants. He's moving around the map. And everyone else is kind of staying a little grouped up.
That right there, by the way, it shows how important that tier 1 tower mid is. As soon as they cross that line, if there was no tier 1 tower there, then General almost surely just continues to go up, and Didira follows him, and they can probably get the kill onto Moon or Crit. But because that's available to them, they're just so afraid to make.
They're doing it again. No tower defends the bottom. General can't get a jump, and the tier 1 tower survives.
Yeah, unless you've got a Yules, you're not going to be able to stop that.
They're going to force it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
So tier 1 tower will go down on bottom, but Miracle opens up on the tier 3 tower. No one wants to fight him. He's still got Aegis, Manta, having that Abyssal Blade too.
You don't want to overcommit on an Aegis carrier, especially not an anti-mage. The rest of his team is making his way forward. They're going to see that coming, but still, this is the last hero that you want to overcommit on, as OG are content to...
He walks out underneath the sentry ward. They'll get the Hex, they'll get the stun. Moon pops out, and the ship's almost a victory boat.
And they still have 2 more minutes to make use of that Aegis by pushing aggro.
1 minute without the Slark, no buyback.
Oh god, Anti-Mage is 20,000 net worth.
Yep. He's a little bit farmed. There's your Infest again, so Crit looking to go for round 2. Still got Finger of Death.
Dire's middle tower is
Which I think
under
by
attack.
now it's a lot more than 2.
Keep that refraction up, Denby. You never know when the Lion blinking is going to happen.
Well, there's the kick on Miracle with the silence. No Tail jumps in. Gets the X mark on General. The 4-star pushing him back into the towers. But Miracle jumps with the Mana Void. Arstar comes a lot of spill damage. But Miracle going to get cold feet up. Remember, he's still hit by that Aghanim's Ice Blast level 2.
I mean, how are you
Maybe he
supposed to
doesn't
play
really care anyway, does he?
Yeah, they're like sitting like behind their racks and it doesn't matter. Like OG just hit like or 3, 2, 1, go, and then they just instantly kill 2 heroes.
Yeah, no Tails initiation range with the X. If you just hover over his hero, it spawns in the screen. How are you supposed to play against that when your team is already behind? There's no safe zone anymore for Navi. They were about as defensive as they could be. They were near the tier 3 towers, closer than they were to their mid racks.
If you can see the Kunkka, you are in danger.
Yeah, that's pretty much what this game has devolved into right now for Navi. Didira is desperately trying to make something.
Is it?
I think so.
The dragging axe.
Okay, there's a question. Is there enough time left in this game to finish it? The back
he sees you.
Maybe when he finds Dandy, that Observer Ball was still up on the hillside. Doesn't pull him in at the right time, however. And the Ice Blast well on target.
Oh, he got the
stops
silence
Seneko
supply.
from bouldering